Logic. I was just watching a video that was posted by Cash Jordan. I'm not familiar with the YouTuber or not, but I was looking at some YouTube news or whatever, and I just noticed this. I don't know if you guys are aware that a lot of the migrants from New York City are being flown, bused, mostly flown back to New York City. He's also been Mayor Adams of New York City has been flying migrants by plane to Texas, as well as shipping and busing migrants to Illinois and other places around the country. So he's now doing a purge of migrants outside of New York City. Now, I believe this holds twofold, meaning that he's doing this politically, this is politically being done, as well as legally being done. Because don't forget, Mayor Adams is under scrutiny from taking foreign funds from all these different oligarchs from different countries. They've been lavishing him with, allegedly gifts, cheap hotel stays. That, and these hotels are like $10,000 a night, lavish vacations. So Mayor Adams of New York, they're stating because that Trump won. This is the reason why New York City, by the way of Mayor Adams, it's actually busting all of these migrants. Like I told you before, I'm looking at this clip here. Let's see if we can turn it around. I'm looking at this clip here, and I'll let you hear some of it. Let me see if I can zoom in. I don't know if I can zoom in, guys, but this is what I was watching.
So here we are at the Port Authority bus terminal where around 4,500 asylum seekers have gotten tickets back to Texas, some on the very buses they arrived on. And the irony here is that New York, the sanctuary city, is proving that it's not able to help people, even though that's what it claims its purpose is.
Get a little closer.
But what it can do is set people up for failure while still being able to claim, hey, we're progressive, we still have a right to shelter, we're still a sanctuary city, we're still able to help you, which might help the non-asylum seekers that run this place feel good about themselves, but basically makes New York a sanctuary city in name only.
New York City sending 4,500 migrants back to Texas, offering free one-way plane and bus tickets to other states. So Abbott sends migrants to New York.
All right. So what I'm showing you guys is basically New York City, Mayor Adams is sending thousands of illegal migrants or migrants back to Texas, as well as to Illinois and other places in which they came. He's eradicating New York City of migrants who got there, because if you guys will see more of the news that's coming out, all these jobs, all these jobs that they said that they have for these people, they don't have these jobs. These guys are just as homeless. These guys are just as homeless and jobless as they were in their own country. So now we have hundreds of thousands and millions of people inside of the country illegally, because the things that the the current administration didn't do, which they reverted. And see, here, a lot of you guys may be Democrats, which is totally fine. A lot of you guys may be independents, which is totally fine. And I know there's a lot of people wilding out online about what side won. You guys who didn't vote, you're the blame. The men didn't vote. You guys are the main. Everybody's a problem because somebody's candidate didn't win. It's kind of like if you like the Bulls and I like the Boston Celtics, and the Boston Celtics win the championship, and you're like, oh, it's because you guys didn't support your team. Who knows what the excuses that people come up with. But as I'm looking at this, look at this, family. All these thousands of people, hold on. All these thousands of people are now jobless in New York. And now New York City, by the way of Mayor Adams, is sending those illegal immigrants that were there, flying them to Texas. Couldn't that be a federal crime to fly elite people who are illegally in the country? Because don't forget, the airways are controlled by the federal government. Okay, that's a one-off. It's a misnomer. But nonetheless, we have all of these illegal immigrants all around New York City and other places. Okay, I'm just focused on New York City for right now. But other places where now they're sending them back to Texas and all these other places. This is illegal for first most, however they got there in the first place. Okay, let me see. Let me see what he's saying here. Hold on. Look at that. He was saying that all these jobs that were supposed to be for these migrants are no longer there. Let me see if I can back this up a little bit. Okay, I'm just doing a little bit of commentary. Let me show you that what was on that clip. Okay, American fretting over the job market. That's because all these illegal immigrants, they stated that, oh, Hispanic people who are legal won't do them. Asian Americans won't do them. Black Americans won't do it. And we know white Americans sure damn ain't gonna do it. All of these farming jobs, all of these manufacturing jobs, all these distribution jobs, they're stating that, oh, we needed all these people from all these other countries, okay? We needed all these people from all these other countries to do these jobs that Americans say they won't do. But again, we have millions of Americans who are homeless. No, some of this, need to be rehabilitated and built back up to a certain degree. But again, I told people that eventually America would become overpopulated. It will. Right now we have 340 million. I want you guys to go check the census 4 years ago and see what the American population was. How fast did we rise in our population because people who are illegally in the country? Because it's a reason why countries want people to come over legally. Countries want you to come over legally so they can track you, so they can have an accurate account. They can have an accurate account of who's in the country, why they're in the country. These are some of the things they do, family. Why they're in the country and all these other things. So I don't expect that New York City would be the only state or only city, rather. They said I have issued more than 47,000 tickets and 4,500 has gone to Texas. Okay, so they are busing and flying migrants back to Texas and other places, and they said that 47,000 tickets have already been issued. Okay. And a lot of people think that this is bad. Oh, this is a bad look for America. No, it's not. All these countries, and unfortunately, family, we are in a European country. All these European countries, all these other people coming over illegally, they're getting rid of them. Okay? They're getting rid of them. I see we got K-Dub in the room, B1 on YouTube, brother, Volvo, Mac Peoples, Extreme X. What's up, everyone? Our government real good at wasting our tax dollars. Do a flip. So we're supposed to vote for another 4 of this. Yeah. Yes. Let me tell you something, family. Those who didn't vote and those who voted for Donald Trump contribute, in my opinion, so I know a lot of people about to turn off, contribute to the security of America. People would like to say that America was built by immigrants, where we know that America was built on the backs of slaves, foundational Black Americans. That's number one. Other people came later to build in what we see today, okay? Revolutionize, modernize America. But the very foundation, the roads, the railroads, all of those things, the first initial ionic structures that we have, they was built by Black people. Okay, so foundational Black Americans are not immigrants. The descendants of slave masters are not immigrants. Native Americans, okay, real Native Americans, not the $5 Indian ones, those are not immigrants. These are the original people of America. Because when America was established by getting independence from the British 1776, July 4th, these are 3 major groups, types of people who were here. So the descendants and those slave masters, foundational Black American ancestors, and Native Americans. So don't tell us that America was initially built by immigrants, and it sure wasn't built by illegal immigrants. So again, all of these jobs that, they're working for $3 or $4 an hour, and this is what people were talking about, being able to live in America with a fair wage. Being able to live in America with a fair wage. The reason why you have these large disparities in salaries and wages is because when you have an influx of illegal people in the country who don't have any records, don't have any background inside the country. Take, for instance, if I was an employer, I can pay them whatever I want. I don't have to abide by my local and state laws of paying $10, $12, or $15 an hour. No, I'm going to pay them $3 an hour. I'm going to pay them $4 an hour, whatever the case may be. And sometimes I have 4 people from the same family say, hey, listen, I'm just going to pay you guys $20 an hour, all four of you. Think about that. Think about how all of these rich people, and granted, it's on both sides. If the Democrats are letting them in, then who do you think are employing them? Who do you think are on the border states, okay, and how they represent America? Republicans. So this is why I tell people a lot of times when you have this duality mindset of trying to pick a side of Republican and Democrat, you're just going to piss yourself off, right? When you go vote and when you have the freedom of information, meaning that you're not adhering to a lot of the rhetoric that they state on both sides. You're not feeding into all the things that people are saying. So when you stay not necessarily neutral, but when you stay on business when it comes to information and truth, instead of just, oh, well, the Democrats said this about the Republicans and Trump, so it must be false, it must be true, right? They fearmonger you. He's this, he's that, he's this. And some of the stuff is true. Okay, they lied on him sometimes, but some of the stuff he's true. A lot of things, oh, he was convicted. Oh, he said that he was going to touch women on the private part. All these things, the way he tripled down on Central Park 5, all of those things are true. Now that you try to fearmonger us, what are your policies? See, that is where the Democrats went wrong, family. That is where the Democrats went wrong. They kept trying to tell us how bad Donald Trump was, while Donald Trump was telling what he was going to do for America. You see what I'm saying? Oh, well, you know, we're going to get Gorilla. We're going to get Cardi B. We're going to get Meg Thee Stallion. We're going to get Beyonce. We're going to get Kelly Rowland. We're going to get J-Lo. We're going to get Michelle Obama. We'll get all these people in front of you. Some of them are going to be singing. Some of them will be shaking their ass. Some of them are going to be entertaining. We're going to get the actors and actresses. We're going to get everybody out in front of you guys. And we're going to have a whole concert at the DNC National Convention. They had a whole DJ in a golden suit with a turntable. I was like this. Because they think that is what black people want. No, black people don't want that. Niggas want that. Black people don't want that. Black people want to go out here in the world. Whether they have a high school diploma or a GED or a college degree. You want to compete in the workplace. You don't want politicians to promote entertainment to you when we're talking about real life issues. This is the problem. They continue to do the same thing over and over again, thinking they was going to get the same result. Thinking that black people were never going to wake up. I want you guys reminded of the disrespect of these political parties, especially the Democrats, because the Democrats told black men in the last election, no voting, no vucking. Remember that song with Saucy Santana and Trina? No voting, no vucking. Then they turn around and say, get your booties to the poll. And they had a bunch of retired strippers, okay? They had a bunch of overgrown retired streetwalkers to do a video of them pole dancing while telling people, black people, to go and vote. Then they did this year. So that was the year before last. This year, family, what the Democrats did, they recreated that show, Pop the Balloon or Find Love. The brother came out, said, I'm 6'1", so he was tall, right? Because they know what women want. Guy want 6-pack, 6 figures, 6 this, 6 that, whatever. He said, I'm an owner of a multinational, whatever, I'm a professional businessman. I'm 6'2". And of course, I make over 6 figures. Somebody asked him, did you vote? He said, no. And everybody popped their balloon. This is the shaming and guilting tactic of the Democrats. And the only thing that black people were asking for, what are you going to do about security? What are you going to do about border security? We know that a lot of people don't believe the wall is a good idea. It's going to take millions and billions of American dollars. Okay, that's fine. But what are you going to do for the illegal immigrants in the country? They say, we're going to give them a fast pathway to citizenship. Okay, so wait a minute. So people who are illegal in the country, you're going to make them legal. But we have black brothers and sisters in jail on minor nonviolent offenses, but you won't let them free. You see what I'm saying? You can bleed that into anything, because a lot of us, A lot of times black people, we can be very emotional, but we can be very loving and forgiving and very humane because of our Christianity background, how we was raised in Christianity. So a lot of us subconsciously or consciously were accepting the illegal immigrants inside the country, and we felt and we empathized and we sympathized. But as they started to drop illegal immigrants off in black communities, when they started to drop illegal immigrants off and start to degrade the neighborhoods, increase the violence, move people outside of their community spaces, black people started to see, okay, wow, they're doing the same thing they did back in the 60s and 70s with the Asians. Why do you think a lot of Asians are in black neighborhoods? Why do you believe when you go to these black beauty shops in black neighborhoods, they're ran by Asians? Because they did the same thing when an influx of Asians came over here to America. They dropped illegal immigrants off from Central America, Mexico, Haiti, India, as well as China. They dropped them off in the black neighborhood because they're not going to drop them off in the white neighborhoods. But they're going to tell you, they're going to give them a pathway to citizenship. And they're illegally in the country. But when your ass speed, when you do something illegal, they throw you in jail. They're giving them a pathway to citizenship. They're giving them a driver's license. They're giving them hotels. They're giving them all sorts of accommodation. $10,000 in EBT money, giving them $5,000 in cash. When the last time the government, if you're not on Section 8, gave you $5,000 in cash and you can still work? Someone figured that out for me. So again, the Democrats went about this the very wrong way. And I'm glad they lost. I know some of you don't like that, but I'm glad they lost. This is not me being pro-Trump, because I'm not. This is not me being a Trumper, or people say, or MAGA, because I'm not. But in order for people to stop disrespecting black folk, let alone black men, because they kind of made us the center of a lot of things that's going on. And again, family, when I look at the people who actually voted for Kamala Harris, okay, and I'm not getting to sexism, I'm not getting to identity politics. When I see the people who voted for Kamala Harris, there's different types of group of people. One, a lot of them were part of the Divine Nine. A lot of people from the Divine Nine voted Kamala Harris. Okay, that would have been a big win or a big pat on the shoulder for them. I have no idea. A lot of people in the LGBT community voted for Kamala Harris. A lot of black women voted for Kamala Harris. And then the number one people I believe that voted for Kamala Harris were single women of any race. Because only 12, when they did all of these polls about who wanted abortion, how would abortion benefit women, it was only 12% of America. Now, I know that not everybody took the survey, but those who took the survey stated that abortion or freedom of choice or this, whatever the case may be, autonomy of our bodies, that only 12% of Americans really cared about that. Only 12% of Americans really cared about that. And again, they were making abortion such a big deal because the reversal of Roe versus Wade. And I get it. Women had the freedom to go do whatever they wanted to do to eradicate a life form, so to speak, right? And then everyone is stating, no, this state, that state, this state, this. No one has ever been locked up from having an abortion. They actually did a special on it. Like, no one has done that. So a lot of fear mongering from the Democratic Party. Then they was really trying to focus on the debauchery of social media, of certain culture. You know, we do have part of the black community, a certain culture that is very degrading. It's a very small portion, but that small portion gets highlighted. That small portion get exploited to seem as though the rest of black Americans are this way, where we getting on police officer vehicles, shaking out bus everywhere you see us. We in Ghana on the Cape Castle, and we're just twerking. We're just always shaking our ass. The men are always being violent. The men listen to drill music. They want to kill each other. That's the only thing you see. We're just a tennis ball, family, in this game. Because that's one of the ways that the Democrats went wrong about this. They continue to promote illegal immigrants inside the country and try to have everybody to feel sorry as if they wasn't already breaking the law. That's number one. Then they were allowing a large level of transgenderism in schools. This was pushed by the Democratic Liberal Party. That's why you were saying the radical left and liberalism. I was like, I get that, but why are they allowing certain individuals get in front of our children? Why are they doing this while they're so young? And then a lot of people saying, you know, they're grooming this and grooming that. So here's the point I'm trying to make. When you're looking at all of the different policies and or legislation that each party was going to sign into law, you as a person, who were you really siding with? Don't think about Kamala Harris. Don't think about Michelle Obama, Barack Obama. Don't think about them. Don't think about Tim Walz. And then let's look at the other side. Don't look at Donald Trump. Don't look at J.D. Vance. Don't look at none of them. Don't look at Robert F. Kennedy. Don't look at Elon Musk. Don't look at none of those known figures. Just look at the policies. Just look at the policies. Because I guarantee you this, family, you go to another country and you try to go over in that country illegally, I don't care if it was a fifth world country, they will lock your ass up. And I get it. Some people are very sympathetic. You know, they're coming over here for opportunities. They're coming over here for this, that, and the other, a better way of life. They're fearing political prosecution. They fearing for their lives. I understand that. I understand that, but they need to come through the right way. And when people say, "Oh, there's no open border policies, or catch and release policy," yeah, there were. They didn't state catch and release, but what they would do is apprehend illegal immigrants coming through, record them, stating that we have no more room to house you, come back in 2 weeks. They didn't take them back to the border. They released them in America. There have been plenty of CPP agents that actually came out about this. So family, when we look at this, I don't want people to be crashing out and wilding out because of political party laws. Have we won yet? I don't think we have won yet. We haven't won yet. When have black people won? We've the ones who've been here. And guess what? Not stating all Hispanics, but white Hispanics. And I did a broadcast about white Hispanics in Mexico, part of neo-Nazi groups. Why do you think when you look at police violence, why do you think that when you look at police brutality inside of California, a lot of the cops are Hispanic, white Hispanics? They have all these different ideologies, and I'm not saying all Hispanics, okay? I'm saying there's a great level of Hispanics that are quote unquote very prejudiced and very racist, especially. There's been recordings in California in local and state government of Hispanic officials speaking down and speaking about ill will towards black folk, like calling them monkeys, unintelligent. We can't let them darkies get inside of office. All of these things. And we understand that the great majority of legal immigrants are from Mexico and Central America. So believe it or not, family, border security is a very serious thing that bleeds inside of your neighborhood. Just because he hasn't hit you yet, because I know a lot of people who voted for the Democratic Party. I know a lot who voted for the Democratic Party. And they just thought that Kamala would be better for the country. And you know, family, I'm very, very neutral. I said, when it comes to optics, I can see how Kamala seems more presidential. I see how Kamala may speak more pleasantly. I can't say more intelligently, because she may sound intelligently, but when you listen to her speak, have you guys ever listened to one of her speeches? They're very repetitive, for number one. Then number two, her speeches, what she does is, I learned this in logic class. The class I was part of, Logic Matters. I learned this in logic when you have circular reasoning fallacies, where you say these things that really don't mean anything, but it sounds good. You know, when we actually get into office, we're going to win. Huh? But she says a lot of silly things. And listen, family, Donald Trump isn't better. He doesn't circle. He's speaking these very theatrics. Kamala, you're fired. He says some silly. Donald Trump is a whole character, family. Donald Trump is a whole character, and I don't like either candidate. But when we look at the policies, I want you guys to focus on the policies. You see one party allowing illegal immigration to occur, and you see that same party funding the pockets of illegal immigrants. Then you have another party state they're going to stop illegal immigration, or they're going to try to stop illegal immigration. So if you're a law-abiding citizen and you know someone is breaking the law, why wouldn't you want the border secure? Oh, it's okay because they're families and they need a better way of living. No, I guarantee you, me and my family went into a corner store and we stole from it, we'd get locked up, even though we were hungry. I was born and raised in Southeast DC. Me and my mother walked 2 miles to get 2 eggs from my uncle. That's how poor I was, and we was also homeless. So I don't know what the hell they're talking about. They came from their country. They tracked the Amazonian jungle, and that's some of the stupid shit that like D.L. Hughley was saying, Plies was saying. Oh, these people ready to work, they hard working, they came through the jungle. Yeah, it doesn't matter if I caught a plane to say California. I caught a plane in California, I'm in DC. So I catch a plane, cross the country. Or let's say I rode my bike across the country and then I try to rob a bank in California and I go to jail. You get what I'm saying? You tracked through the Amazonian jungle, you came through here, you came through that, but you still committed a crime as soon as you entered the country unlawfully. That's another thing. And then let's think about the LGBT thing in our schools and all these other things, allowing grown XY chromosomes, allowing men to compete against women. You telling me if someone identifies as a particular sex that we just gonna ride with that? Why is it when I try to go purchase me a Ferrari, I told the Ferrari owner, I said, I'm looking at a couple of Ferraris here. This one right here is 450,000. This is the one I want. They said, well, sir, we ran your credit and your credit score is 500. And I said, well, I identify with someone who has a 150 credit score. I identify with millionaires as well. See what I'm saying? It's idiotic. It's stupid. It's silly. It should have never been done. But we're going to allow grown ass men to identify as another sex because they feel a certain way. But when we test your blood, when we extract some of your DNA and RNA, we see that you are a male. Let me ask you this. Why aren't transgender women competing against men? Women who are transitioning to be a man, why aren't they competing against men? But men who are quote unquote transgender to women will compete against women. Why is it both ways? Because women transgender to men know they can't compete with men because it's on a structural molecular molecule DNA level. It doesn't make any sense. But this is what you guys were going to vote for. That's why when somebody say, yeah, man, I know you ain't going to do it, but I'm just not going to sit out and vote because my ancestors died. And, I have a voice. I'm going to cast my vote. And I say, well, both of them are bad choices. Yeah, both of them are bad choices, but I'm just going to have to vote for the lesser two evils. I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to play the game. Tell me when black people have won. Tell me when black people have won. Tell me when you cast your vote, and I won't say 1 year, I'll say 2-3 years later, you like, you know what? My vote really supported my choice. My vote really supported my family. My vote helped me to be in a better place. I went from an apartment to a house because of some of the legislation this person passed. And if you come up with the answer, well, yeah, I voted and this legislation helped, then I want you to look at the total of black people. I want you to look at the total of black people. Have you noticed that neither the Republican Party or the Democrat Party, when it comes time to vote, they send people out in the black community and they try to interpret the legislation for them, say, hey, listen, this policy right here is going to improve your community center. So what we're looking at, we're not just looking at what they call minority or opportunity zones, but minority neighborhoods. No, we're looking to look at neighborhoods that are predominantly black, because we know that you guys have been left behind. And we're showing you that this policy is directly going to benefit that community center. We're going to hit black America where it hurts the most. We're going to hit Baltimore. We're going to hit Detroit. We're going to hit Chicago. We're going to hit the small pockets of LA. We're going to hit certain boroughs in New York. We're going to hit Atlanta. We're going to hit Houston. You see what I'm saying? Like, they never do that. They never educate you on what the policy really says. Now, granted, as an American citizen, you have the right and freedom to go and research these legislations. But New York City, they're getting rid of all of their illegal immigrants, the ones that they can find. Now, granted, some of these illegal immigrants are actually, they are actually going to get these tickets because now they want to go home. Some of the illegal immigrants want to go home now because they went up to New York, where Mayor Adams at first was dancing a dig for the Democratic Party, and he was stating that, you know, we need all these people for all these jobs. They have 100,000 people on the street, family. More than what they already had before. They have hundreds of thousands of migrants on the street now trying to get rid of them. They just issued out 47 tickets for people to fly a plane back to Illinois as well as Texas. I wonder what Greg Abbott's going to do. And it's funny because Greg Abbott is the one that shipped all of those illegal immigrants to New York, and New York is now shipping them back. They said because Trump won, they are now shipping all the illegal immigrants back. You know why? Because Trump is not going to fund illegal immigrants inside of America. He's not going to do it. See, don't forget, family, the Democratic Party were giving all of these sanctuary cities millions of dollars. They were giving all these sanctuary cities millions of dollars, and they were funding their migrants. They were giving them all sorts of money. And guess what? They understand under a Trump presidency, under a Republican presidency, it just won't happen. I don't know why black people are mad at that. The only thing I hear that a lot of unfortunate black people are crashing out online is about abortion, where only 12% of Americans really cared about. And then when you look at some of these videos, family, of these people really crying and yelling and screaming and mad. I've seen black women, and I know these black women, ladies, don't represent all black women. I understand that. But these black women were getting online, TikTok, Snapchat, you know, all these other ones. And they were stating, if I see or hear about a black man being choked, stumped out, and killed by the police, don't expect black women to ride for you. What? Because you didn't vote or you didn't vote for Kamala. Think about how they think that black people were truly a monolith. And I've said this plenty of times. When you look at America in its totality, when you look at the history of black folk, when you even look at current day black folk, majority of black folk are very conservative. I didn't say you was a Republican, but we have a lot of conservative values. We have a lot of traditions. We have a lot of traditions. Let me tell you what. You guys can do a study. I want you guys to go on all of those people who do those gold digger videos. The one I look at, I look at Nair Price, I look at London, and all of these women, majority of these women are black. And majority of these women state how they want a man to pay for all their bills. See, traditional values where the women stay at home, the man goes out and make the But no, on a serious note, family, but that's where a lot of our traditional values come from. We was the bedrock and foundation of America. So when you look at these things, this is not nothing new, that while black folk don't want bussy popping people in front of their kids. In front of their kids. Then what about this? Let's take a turn, because we talked about LGBTQ and our grade schools and border security. Let's talk about our health. I know one of the most unpopular things, but not from a fact perspective. I'm talking about from a chemical and poisoning perspective. Do you guys agree that Robert F. Kennedy is the right choice? I forgot what position he's going to hold. Maybe somebody can throw it in the chat. I don't know what position, but he's going to be tasked with eradicating all of the illegal chemicals that other countries, third world countries, don't allow in their food. Yellow, better yet, not the European nation. The European nation have all these lists of chemicals that they will not allow in their food. But when you look in our food, everybody knows that high fructose corn syrup is directly linked to obesity, is directly linked to diabetes, but we still have high fructose corn syrup. Do you guys know about sugar, alternative sugar alcohols like monk fruit, erythritol, stevia, plant-based sugar, all these things that don't raise your blood sugar? A lot of these alternative sugar substances are actually, I'm gonna say, good for you. They don't have a negative effect on your body, but they're still putting high fructose corn syrup. They're still putting all these different corn syrups and this syrup and that syrup. I read a book called Fat Chance by Robert L. Lustig. I told a lot of people about this book because it had all the different forms of sugar. But Robert F. Kennedy is being appointed and being directed to eradicate all of these hormones, unnecessary hormones, to make the chicken bigger, to make this bigger. Because a lot of us don't have money to buy organic food. Now, I'm not going to lie, family. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if this is going to be a little bit or this is going to be a lot. But for down south, my wife and I, and we have people that live in the house, we spend $1,200 a month on food. $1,200 a month on food. Because the majority of the food that we buy is organic. And it has to be organic, because when you're looking at the ingredients, I'm seeing all sorts of shit. Like, take for instance Simply Lemonade. I'm pretty sure everybody has Simply Lemonade. Simply Lemonade said lemon, sugar, and water. Okay, that's simple. 3 ingredients to make lemonade. I got it. But when you guys start buying box food and you guys are buying these, you're going through the aisles and you're buying all these things that are pre-mixed, I want you guys to see if you can read some of the chemical substance that they're using, because they're using a lot of it to preserve the food. Family, we didn't have Taco Bell serving up horse meat in America before they got caught. They've been doing all these things to our food. And why do you think that we have all these ailments? We got gout, high cholesterol, high diabetes. And it seems as though it affects black people the most. Because, and I don't want to get on side about diet, because we unfortunately operate off a European diet because of bread. You know, we really shouldn't be eating that much bread, all these empty carbs. But I get off of that. I want to stick to Robert F. Kennedy really accomplishing his mission, and he has my support. I'm tired of seeing black Americans, one of the largest percent of obesity. Some of it is the food quality, and some of it is discipline. Some of it is food quality, the different chemicals in our food, and some of it is discipline. Now, I know I've been seeing you guys in the chat here. Let me point some people out here. Elizabeth stated that many Latinos are not immigrants. We live in New Spain, Mexico, Texas, where they were conquered by America. So if you were conquered, then you're definitely not in New Spain. You're definitely in another country. Let's see here. Kenra Guyan says she's agreed 100%. Who do you think will be the nominee in 28? That's a really good question, Kyra. I really don't know. I don't think Kamala Harris is going to run again. And if she does run again, she's not going to be able to galvanize the support she did. Because don't forget, family, Kamala Harris was selected by the establishment, the Democratic establishment. She was definitely selected by the Democratic establishment. In a true democracy, you guys would have had the ability to vote for Kamala Harris. In a true democracy, you would have had the ability to vote for Kamala Harris, because Joe Biden didn't get assassinated. Joe Biden didn't die. Because some people are like, well, who else do you think it would be if it wasn't for the VP? I'm like, Joe Biden is still alive. So if Joe Biden is stepping down, then the Democratic Party needed to do an emergency selectorial Democratic convention where, hey, we need majority of everybody to vote these 2 days to see who would be the Democratic representative to fight against Donald Trump for the presidency. But they didn't do that. They said Kamala Harris is our select. The American people didn't have a choice in who was going to be the Democratic nominee. Who else we got in here? We got Louis Knowles. Nice to see you. Michael Marcel, the DMV still has 40% poverty today. It's really crazy to see this in the nation's capital. Absolutely, we do. Michael Marcel also states Kamala was a DEI candidate. I'm not going to do, nah, Michael, I'm not going to do the racist shit because anytime they see someone black and they don't believe the person is qualified, they start saying DEI. But I get what you're saying. But I can't ride with it right now. She got put up on her racial background, not by her IQ. I agree. She could never answer a direct question. Let's see here. MD Williams say, peace, brother. Peace to you as well. TT Summer says, demonic, crazy ass behavior. Will Trump help USA to prosper? So some Russian guy on here said, will Trump help USA to prosper? You know what? I'm going to be truthful with you guys. I want to say yes because, again, this has nothing to do with Donald Trump. I want to say yes because me wanting America to win has nothing to do with Donald Trump. I just want America to win no matter who the president is. I want people's salary to be raised. I want jobs to be created. I want unemployment to go down. I want homelessness to go down. I want our veterans to be taken care of. I want establishments and certain special police departments to handle people who have mental health problems. I want more mental health clinics. I want America to win. So everybody crying out, crashing out about who won. No, now that you know who the winner is, let's start focusing on making America better. Let's start making America better. It's not about supporting who's the president, but you should want America to win. So when the guy in the chat just asks, will America prosper under Donald Trump? I hope so. I hope when the next Democratic president gets elected, I hope America wins under him too. You see what I'm saying? This is about America, and they're trying to make it about two people. So I hope that some of the things he did his first 2 years in office, where America was doing great before COVID hit, I hope that returns, and I hope it even becomes better. Jacqueline says, I'm a black American freeman woman. I completely support black men choosing who they wanted to vote for, and I'm partially pro-choice. I'm partially pro-choice as well, Jacqueline. I agree with you. The attack on black men is wrong, especially coming from black women. It's shameful. Thank you. Rick Sanchez, what's up, my lovely? Okay. See how people be disrespectful? See how people are disrespectful? FBA strong. Let's see here. Will Trump end the Ukraine-Russia war? Maybe. Here in Vladimir Putin, they do have a relationship. And America will start offering oil to the European Union. See, that's the thing we have to understand. When Trump was stating that we need to be energy dependent, we actually pump more oil than any other country in the world right now. We have a lot of oil in America, which the Democrats, and again, I understand the strategy. They wasn't trying to use the oil because they were trying to have large oil reserves in case there's ever a war or the oil dries up. America will always be able to self-sustain itself and protect itself. I understand that, but that was based upon war. Don't forget, a lot of people believe that the Democratic Party are warmongers and that the Republican Party is actually the party of peace. Okay, now, of course, when George Bush was in office, we had the war there, but we knew we were going to war. Even Americans wanted to go to war off of that. Okay, so they are not too good for you. Okay, Jackson said, I stayed home. I did not vote, and I'm glad Kamala lost the election. She was clearly the worst out of the two candidates. Raw sugar, raw honey, and go light on agave. Okay. Jacqueline also states, I do a lot from scratch cooking to control what I eat, but I everybody slip up sometime. We like a good cheeseburger, hamburger, some ribs, macaroni cheese. I'm getting hungry. But anyway, Trump asked RFK to reorganize federal health agencies such as the Food Drug Administration and the Center for Disease Control. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that, Mike. $1,200 a month. That's not bad for organic. Myself is $500. Gut health first. Waistline circumference is everything. FBA strong. I feel you on that. Oh, yeah, I got my gut down, man. I've been cycling. I've been biking. More active lifestyle. here in my 40s. Yeah. I'm doing okay. When people say something like that they don't care about black people, just a part of they're a part of Black Death, meant nothing to them. I agree, Lewis. Crystal Watson, Westmore. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of those, a lot of those Latinos claiming Latinos did this and that in North America. And that's another thing that really surprised me, but I really didn't. Because don't forget, family, every time people start speaking about Hispanic people, they always think they're talking about illegal. No, there are a lot of legal Hispanics in America. Hispanic Americans are 19.5%. Look it up. Census Bureau, they're 19.5% of the population of America. Okay? Where Black Americans, we are only, according to the Census Bureau, we are 13.7 of the population. So to give you hard numbers, white Americans are at 251 million people in America. Hispanic Americans are 67 million people in America. Black Americans are at 47 million in America. So we're the third ethnic group when it comes to population, right? And they didn't believe that Latinos was going to vote for Trump. Well, don't forget, a lot of these Latinos, when they come over here and they get their their resident status or they get their legal status, they start to build all these businesses. Guess what they don't want? Guess what they don't want? Now, I believe the conversation about if they want illegal immigration or not, that could be an argument for another day. But these men care about business. Number one, they think about the economy, right? They want their taxes to be cut, right? Because everybody who owns a business know what I'm talking about when I say this. There are some parts of every business that's illegal. What am I talking about? There are some parts of business where you don't do everything through electronic transaction where the government can actually track it. Sometimes you pay in cash, if you get what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? And even though you're buying the materials from the store, you're going to put that on your business card, but you're not going to see any revenue come back so they can add that to your tax amount. I digress. I gave somebody a nugget there if you get what I'm getting at. But a lot of the Latinos, they want better economic strategies. They want a better economic structure in America because they're going to profit from it. And then number two, because they were trying to put this on black men. Number two, Hispanic men are probably more traditional than black men. I said probably. A lot of Hispanic men are more traditional than black men. What am I talking about? They don't want to see a woman in power. See, they try to get us with that misandry. They try to get black people with that sort of misogynist sort of rhetoric that, oh, black men don't want to support a black woman or black men don't want to support a woman. A lot of our mothers were single women. So if anyone, a lot of black men did vote for Kamala Harris. A lot of black men did vote for Kamala Harris. If I'm not mistaken, 80% of black men voted for Kamala Harris, while 91% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. But it only takes 20%. It only takes 20%. And these numbers came out far in advance, family. They came out far in advance. They stated that if 20% of black Americans voted for Donald Trump, and we got another 10% that just don't vote at all, Donald Trump will win. And that is exactly what happened. 20% of black Americans, black women and black men, 20% voted for Donald Trump, while another 10% stayed at home and just did like this. Looking at the electoral college votes to go up. And I think a lot of times we have to understand government, right? Not just people talking bad about one another, fear-mongering you. If Donald Trump wins, democracy as we know it is over. If Kamala Harris wins, they're going to have gay lesbian parades every day of the week. They're going to have it all in your schools and your bathrooms. You're going to have all this debauchery around America. No. Not just the fear-mongering back and forth. America is more than that. And hopefully, and here's the thing, let's take, for instance, if Kamala won. I still want America to win. I want black people to win. But when we're looking at the policies, family, Lord, It just wasn't there. Yeah, she eventually came out with some policies, but I didn't like half her policies. Like, gun to my head. Listen, family, gun to my head, I had to vote. It would be Donald Trump. Gun to my head. It has nothing about Kamala Harris being a woman. It has nothing about Kamala Harris being black, Indian, or neither, or both. I don't know. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with policies. And I think that this time the Democrats, they looked at black people in the wrong way. They looked at us as a monolith, as though if we can get all of these entertainers, we can get all these famous people in front of black America, they're going to vote for us again. Yeah. That worked for Biden and Kamala. That worked. When you had all these celebrities come out, they didn't say what they didn't say what they was going to do for black America, but they did tell us what they wasn't going to do, okay? And that was a whole hell of a lot. Let's see what you guys saying over here. The Russian guy, I don't know how to pronounce your name because, it's in Russian. He said, thank you for your answers. No problem. Elizabeth stated, Jacqueline Average, yes, we're European and Native American. We live in Southwest states. American conquered Southwest states. Okay, all right. What else? See, Jacqueline Average, Latinos don't want to claim your heritage. Okay, they having a bout in the chat, family. I don't want to get distracted. They're having a whole discussion. I'm gonna let you guys go at that because I don't want to get into the history piece. Because as a black American family, a lot of us we're not racist or prejudiced against anyone. We just want equality. Like when you see that Hispanic guy, when you see that white guy, when you see that Asian guy smoking a blunt on the block, bop him aside his head the same way you bop me aside my head. Everybody get their head bopped when they're doing something illegal, not just black folk. Not because you have this subconscious bias. Let's get on police brutality. A lot of people, even my son, my 24-year-old son, believes that the same thing that happened under Donald Trump in 2016 is going to happen during this presidency, where white people become emboldened to spur up, racial tension, have a lot of, hate crimes committed against black Americans. And I told my son this, which I know he didn't do. It's okay. He's not going to do it. I said, son, I want you to look up of all of the racial attacks against, against non-black folk attacking black folk, non-black folk attacking black folk under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I want you to compare those numbers, and we're not even done yet, but compare those numbers against under Trump. Did you know there's been more hate crimes? There's been more racial attacks on black folk under Biden and Kamala than it was under Trump? And then I had to get out of the mindset if Trump is racist or not. Let me tell you why. I had to get out of the mindset if Trump is racist or not, because regardless if I think he's racist or not, the question is, what is he going to do for America? What is he going to do for foundational black Americans? Whatever he does, how would it help my group? How would it help my family? How would it help my people? You get what I'm getting at? A lot of times we become too distracted, or we become fearful, or we become emotional about what one party is saying about another party, and we're missing the whole point. We're missing the whole point. And I've said this before. Local and state has direct impact on your lives today, where federal is going to take 3 to 4 years before it hits your doorstep. Now, there's a lot of things that Trump can actually do that we may start seeing change in the first 2 years, within the first 2 years. There's a lot of things he can do, because when it comes to money moves quick. He increased the tariffs on China. Either one or two things going to happen, family. Let me tell you this. Either one or two things are going to happen when he raised the tariff on Chinese products that are being imported. One, from an economic standpoint, some of our product prices may go up. Because if they don't do an airtight legislation where they ensure that the original price of a product, how it's manufactured based upon the number of volume that's coming inside of America, doesn't raise the price for the end user, you and I, once we get the product in our home, we have to think about that, because we may have to pay a little bit more when he increase these tariffs now. But if you make that airtight legislation, then the price is going to stay relatively the same, but a lot of businesses will be brought back to America. Don't forget, family, before, was it the 50s or the 60s, where we used to make almost 90% of things in America ourselves? And it used to be like an American thing. People wanted American products because American products were built solid. American products were built strong. American products were quality. Everybody wanted American products. Now, America, we don't build anything. We don't make anything. We outsource everything. We get, what, 75 to 80% of our products from India, China, Bangladesh, and Taiwan. From Eastern Asia, we get like over 75 to 80% of our products. Even some of our food is coming in from other countries. Now, granted, some foods are exotic towards that country, so I get that. We don't have the soil for that. But I want you guys to think about that. Back in the day, you can ask your mothers, your fathers, your grandfathers, your grandmothers about things that were American made. Everybody wanted things that was American made. Even to this day, when I see something American made, I want to buy it. Oh, it's $5 more. Okay, I want American made because I in my mind, I'm just thinking, I know that it's built strong. I know that it's built well. Because we have standards. Americans, we have standards. We don't, well, I'm going to say this, and I know a lot of you guys are going to get me on this. We don't cut corners, but we know we cut corners sometimes. But our products were always really, really strong, really good quality, good functionality. Let me see what you guys are saying. Let's see here. FBA Sean says a battle in that. Okay, hold on. FBA Sean said, I knew. Also under Trump, the other groups come under threat. They have to hold their own ground. They can't dump on us. They have to fight their own. Others will catch smoke. Joe says, tariffs always raise prices because the retailers will pass on it. And that's what I was getting at, Joe, that it's a possibility. Okay, we're talking about legislation and law. That's one thing that a lot of retailers can't do. They can't break federal and state laws. So as long if Donald Trump is raising tariffs on countries who've been taken advantage of, like China, and he makes it where as though prices will not be raised for the American, then they're going to have to endure that charge. But let me tell you this. The reason why China has exploded with millionaires and billionaires is because of American consumerism. So China probably wants to make a deal too, right? They say, well, you're going to raise the tariff from 15 to 25%. And if they can't make a deal, they're still going to take the deal. I want you to listen to this. Let's take, for instance, I don't know. China builds the the mechanical keyboards, right? China will build 1,000 of these for $10. 1,000 of these for $10. And they make 1,000% profit. They can still make 1,000 of those for $10, but their percentage rate is going to be cut. So instead of making 1,000%, they may make 850%, but they're still making a large enough profit because of the volume. So again, legislation can be built and written airtight if they wanted to, where you and I don't incur those charges of tariffs. Okay. Now that went out to Joe for people who are just thinking about what I was referring to. Let's see here. Military said, I know you and Uncle Ruckus, Ricky Manor, are happy. Your Master Trump wins. Oh, okay. I didn't know that I had a Massa. I didn't know that I voted for Trump because I didn't vote for Trump. But thank you, military. People are butthurt on the internet, boy. I tell you, I didn't go for no candidate. I went for black people. I'm on black empowerment. I don't know what you guys are on. FBA Sean says corporations need to pay the people, return to manufacturing everything homegrown. I agree. George says Americans love worshiping celebrities and politicians. That is true, and that's the problem. That's the problem. We're not worshiping their policies. We're worshiping the people. That was a good point. Who was that? Let me see who that was again. I didn't mess up. I done had you guys drop off. I hit something I shouldn't have hit. Okay. We back in though. But that was real what he said, because I think it's imperative that we start bringing jobs back to America, because it's only going to help America. Bringing jobs back to America. And now, from a business owner standpoint, if you guys are creating, products, I understand that shipping your products or shipping your prototypes to China, and China, make you pay $100 for 1,000 units. I mean, the profits are out of this world. But unfortunately, it's been killing America, because allegedly China has child slave workers and paying people less than $1 a day to build a lot of these products that Americans enjoy. Now, from a humanitarian standpoint, I feel for that. But when it comes to economics, I understand the profit and benefit of that. But at the same time, we're losing a lot of jobs to other countries. A lot of American cars are built in Mexico. A large portion of them are built in Mexico, where Detroit used to be the car mecca of the world. It's no longer that. Did you guys know that there are only two American car companies? Did you guys know there's only 2 American car companies? Can you guys name the 2 American car companies without looking it up? Does anybody know the 2 American car companies? Let's see it, man. I'm gonna give you guys a second. But okay, that was George who said Americans love worshiping celebrities and politicians. I agree. But the 2 American car companies, I don't know if you guys caught the question. Chevrolet and Ford. Okay, TT Summer says Chevrolet and Ford. You are absolutely correct. But it's not Chevrolet, it's GMC. It's GMC or GM. GMC and Ford. Because don't forget, GMC builds Chevrolets. Okay? Chevrolet is a subsidiary of GMC. Okay? Because you got the Yukon, Denali, all of those things. Right. Okay. So, yeah, we should be bringing jobs back to America. But for you guys who are on the Eastern Seaboard, I don't think Mayor Adams is going to be the only East Coast mayor to start eradicating illegal immigrants. This is a political play, family. I think Mayor Adams really caught some smoke taking those illegal bribes, allegedly, and all of those vacation trips. And so he's really trying to gain favor with the Republican Party. Because when Donald Trump started his mass deportation, Mayor Adams say, Mr. President, I got rid of all my illegal immigrants. Look it up, family. New York City is getting rid of illegal immigrants by the thousands. We're talking about 47,000 and counting. 47,000 and counting. I was going to do a more statistical, in-depth video for you guys tomorrow dealing with this very topic, but I decided just to do it freelance. Just kind of get my fresh initial thoughts, because I'm more scripted, family. I have my thoughts aligned, but when I'm off the cuff, I'm off the cuff. Okay. But anyway, Elizabeth State. I'm not black, but I watch several black channels. I want to know what black think. Okay. Boy, I tell you, everybody be in the mix. Everybody be worrying about what black people think, what black people wear, what black people eat. We don't worry about none of that shit. We don't worry about listen, we don't be like, you know what? I go in white people's spaces because I want to know what white people eat. We know what y'all eat. Potato salad and raisins. I'm just kidding. I don't know. No, I had that at a... Never mind. I let it go. But nonetheless, what we have to think about, black folk don't want to go in other people's spaces and trying to find out everything about them. That's just not who we are. And maybe we should. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we should know our competitors. That's a key word for something else. But maybe we should know what other people are doing. But anyway, you guys enjoy your football Sunday. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans for tomorrow. Don't forget, a lot of restaurants give veterans free food. But anyway, guys, I'm just messing around. You guys have a great and wonderful day. Be one.